Hello everyone, my name is Tomco and today I'm showing you how to make a 5x5 cave door. So with the press of a button, I love this thing so much, and we can close it again, and we can open it again, and we can close it again. Not only is it super fast, but I think this animation is pretty darn good. I have to do it again. I can't stop. The back is not as nice, I know that, but it's not terrible. Now this is a double-sided version. So of course, we got one on this side. Also, we have one on this side. However, I will not be doing a tutorial for this. I will instead be leaving a world download in the description. Anyways, this is the redstone for it. Now before you click off, oh my god, that looks way too complicated. I promise you, it's nowhere near as bad as it looks. It looks huge because it's a 5x5 door. Like, it's a big door. I also think the redstone just looks really cool as well. I've honestly fallen in love with this door, and I think you will too. Anyways, with that, I think it's time for me to show you how to build it. Now you're going to need an 11 by 6 blocks wide area, and you also need 12 blocks of empty space above this like so. So it's like an 11 by 6 by 12 giant cuboid. Damn, I'm good at maths. Now I've also got these 5 iron blocks here. Now these iron blocks, the exact same thing as these 5 front iron blocks here. So use this to line up your door. So to build it, this is everything you're going to need. Bear in mind the lime wall, they're just building blocks, and you're also going to need some like decorational blocks, wall blocks, door blocks, stuff like that. I haven't included it because that's completely up to you. But once you've got all of this, we can start. The very first thing we're going to be doing is our piston layout. So just get your sticky pistons out. Now you want to come to these front 5 iron blocks over here. You want to get some temporary blocks out. You want to put a block there. There, 2 blocks on top of them, and sticky pistons facing upwards like this. No, upwards like that on either side. Then come round to the back, 2 more blocks here, sticky pistons facing upwards. I'm having difficulties with that today. And then finally 1 more here, just like that. Then for now we can might as well destroy these iron blocks because they'll probably get in the way, but it should look like a little triangle. You don't want to come to the very back. You want to place not a block here, but you want to come a block closer to the front. So here, block either side of it. By the way, this should be directly in the center or center of your triangle. Then you're placing 3 sticky pistons on top of all of them blocks. As you can see, it should be 1 block lower than these other pistons. Then you get your 3 slime blocks out, and you want to place them on top of these sticky pistons here. And obviously this is the thing that triple piston extends to put the middle block in place as well as the bottom double piston extenders. You want to come to either side of your door. You want to come 3 blocks in, so 1, 2, 3. Then stack up 5 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you want to place a double piston extender up here, like that. A temporary block over here. Another double piston extender just to the top of the left of it, like so. Then you want to place a piston to the right of both of these. Temporary block here, with another sticky piston up like so. So you get this weird looking shape like this. You want to mirror this, but on the other side. So 3 blocks in, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks upwards. Sticky piston here like so. Block to the right. Sticky piston here like so. Pistons here and here. Temporary block. Sticky piston here. So it looks like that. It's a weird shape, I know, just make sure you get it in the right place. You don't want to come to the top, you want to place in 2 temporary blocks. Another 2 temporary blocks and just on top of it like so. A block to the right, then a sticky piston facing downwards. Now this sticky piston should inline perfectly with that bottom sticky piston here. So this, look up, bam, it's there. Great. Then do the same thing on the other side, so 2 temporary blocks, 2 more, but 1 to the left instead. Sticky piston facing downwards like so. Then you want to do the same triangle thing, but upside down I guess. So 2 temporary blocks here. Blocks here like so, another temporary block here, and a sticky piston just like so. So if I were to go down to the bottom, then look all the way up, it should look like that. And then you want to come to the top again, you want to place a temporary block just on top of this sticky piston. Then you want to place a piston all the way around this block, then more sticky pistons directly below them, just like this. You can then remove this temporary block, just like so, and that is all of your like sticky piston block, what's the word? Piston layout. That's what I was looking for. That's your piston layout done. And now we can actually remove all of these temporary blocks because they'll kind of just get in the way whilst we're doing the redstone. So now you've got floating pistons, I guess. Right, so now it's time to do the redstone. And the very first thing you want to do, come 2 blocks up. Blocks either to the right and left of this, with just running along this like so. You then want to come down over here. You want to place a block here. You want to put a regular piece of dust on top of this block with a target block directly on top of that, just like so. And then this is going to be your input block, this middle block here. However, you cannot hook it up directly to a lever. There is a glitch in Bedrock which messes this thing up. So instead what you have to do, you have to link up a repeater into this block and then link up your lever into this. Let me say that again. You cannot just do this. You have to link up a repeater first and then have your lever going into it. Now let's say you wanted to switch the input, like if you wanted to add a T flip-flop, which is what I've done over here. This is the repeater that you link this up to. Or you could also do a redstone torch, which is something I've done over here. You just cannot directly link a lever into this block. Otherwise, it will probably break. But anyways, we then want to come around to where we have this redstone dust. You want to get another sticky piston out and a redstone block out. You're going to place a sticky piston heading towards your slime block of doom machine over here with a redstone block just in front of it, like so. You then just place another sticky piston just to the right of it though, with another redstone block in front of that one. You then just place a regular piston here and a regular piston here. And what you want to do is you want to get your redstone torches out. You're going to place one on this side of the piston and another one on this other side of the piston over here. Then coming off either side of our redstone line we have going on over here, you want to come a block down under the sticky piston, a block up, then another block down, just along all of them like so. Then repeat this on the other side. So block down, block up, block down, just along every one of them blocks. Then over here where you have your other sticky piston and your pistons, you're going to come and place blocks just like this, like so. So it kind of looks like a little donut. Then on this side, I want to place a repeater, set that to 4 ticks. With the rest of the repeater set to 1 tick, going to the right. Another repeater set to 1 tick, coming directly away from this redstone dust over here. I'm placing 2 pieces of dust, just like so. You then want to get more regular pistons and sticky pistons out, and what you want to do is to place a sticky piston here. 3 in a row like this. This one should extend. Then one more over here, facing upwards, like so. You then want to get your regular pistons out, and you want to place in one directly on top of this redstone block, one directly on top of this redstone block, and then one to the right side of this redstone block, and you want to get your sand block out, and you want to place it on top of this block, just like so. Now what these things, which we've just done in place, these are the things that like remove the blocks when the triple piston extender is going to get fired up, and also push them back up when they get pulled down. I'll try and demonstrate it over here. So let's see if I were to flick this. You can see them all here. They subtract it when it's going upwards and they push it back up once it's finished extending. And that's just so you don't have to use obsidian or terracotta because I think they kind of look ugly. But yeah, to finish setting this up, you want to place a block directly on top of this redstone torch. Block just to the left of it, just on top of that, with a solid block going into this sticky piston like so. Now we just have these 2 sticky pistons over here to wire up. But before we do that, you want to come to the left side again. You come 3 blocks up. You want to get yourself a half slab out. You want to place it on the top of this block. Destroy these 3 blocks. You want to place a piece of redstone dust over here. Solid block over here. Then you place a sticky piston like so, with a solid block in front of that. You then want to get yourself another redstone torch out. And you want to place it on the side of this block over here, just like so. So it should turn off. You then want to place a temporary block here. Sticky piston, destroy this block, and this is going to be the redstone block that activates the final sticky piston in your triple piston extender. Now all the sticky piston here is to do is because this redstone block needs to like be activated after a long time, but deactivated after a short time. And what this will do, this will subtract the block away from this torch, turning the piston off very quickly. It's a bit of a janky way of doing it, it's just the simplest that I could come up with. Now you want to make your way to the right hand side over here, destroy this block, place it over here instead, 2 just along all of those, and place more blocks down here, and you want to place a repeater, set the first one to 4 ticks like so, and the second one, set that to 1 tick. You then place a block to the right, and place a redstone repeater, set that to 4 ticks, with a block in front of it, and a slab next to this sticky piston over here, with a piece of dust here. You then want to put a solid block on top of this sticky piston. Now the other pistons over here, they don't have to be solid, like they can have whatever block you want on top of them. However, this one over here with the dust next to it, this block has to be a solid block. Otherwise it won't work. You then want to carry on this trail of redstone over here, just along every single one of them. You then want to get yourself a regular piston out, you want to place it going backwards, like this, with a redstone torch on the side of it, a block down here, repeater going into a block, like so, block down, and a dust on top of that like so. And as you see, this block now gets pushed upwards. So now we can actually test our triple piston extender out. So if you were to flick this lever, this slime should move up 3 blocks. So let's test it out. 1, 2, 3, perfect. And as you can see, the redstone block is used to activate this final piston up here. However, if we were to unflick it, it should go down 3 blocks. There we go. So if yours is not doing that, make sure you have all the timing set to correct, and make sure you are on Bedrock, because this only works for Bedrock. So now we've got the hard part out of the way, we just have to do the sides and the top. So the first thing you want to do is come to the left and place another slab like so, with dust on top of that. I'm going to place 2 blocks on top of it, with the slabs downwards, and dust on top of that. Another slab to the left, dust on top of that. Another slab up here, you guessed it, dust on top of that. You then want to get this slab, you're going to place in 3 blocks, not 3, you're going to place in 2 blocks like so, with redstone dust along both of them. Then on top of this sticky piston, you're going to place a redstone repeater, set that to 4 ticks. You then want to get an observer out, and you want to place the observer facing upwards, so it should go directly into this sticky piston. To do that, you have to crouch and fly at the same time, and you can place it facing upwards like this. Then you want to come another block up, like so, from this redstone dust on top of that block. Get yourself a repeater out, then replace a repeater coming away from the dust with a solid block in front of this repeater. You then to come up another block, and place the block here. Redstone repeater set to 3 ticks going into this first sticky piston over here. You then place a redstone dust on top of this sticky piston here like so. Dust on top of this sticky piston. Another block up here. More dust on top of that. Solid block over here. Even more dust on top of that. And then you get an observer out. You're going to stand on this sticky piston. You want to look up. You want to place an observer facing downwards with another repeater. Set that one to 4 ticks as well. And so now we can test this out as well. So if we flip the lever, both of these sticky pistons should double extend like so. As you can see, both of them are fired. And if we unflick it, they should both retract and pulse at the end, which they do. Very good. So now we just have to do a similar thing, but on the right side instead. So same thing with the slabs. So just place blocks like so, slab up, just on top of the slab, 2 blocks up, another slab here, another slab here, another slab here, and another slab here, just along every single one of them. Now the same thing over here, so 2 blocks, 2 dust on top of that. You don't have to place in a block on top of this redstone dust. With a repeater, set that to 4 ticks. The same thing with the observer, so you have to crouch and fly and then place it on top of that repeater so it points upwards. Oh, I missed a block here. And then you want to place a block here. 3 to delay repeater. Block in front of that. Come round over here. Dust, block up, dust on top of that. Block to the right, just on top of this. Observer facing downwards. Then another 4 to delay repeater. I've gone a bit faster, but as you can see, it's literally just the mirrored side of this, and I've forgotten something. You actually want to have another block up here, just repeater, and a block. And now it is pretty much just the mirrored side of this. Obviously, take your time, don't rush like me. But now that we've got both sides in, we need to test it out. All looking good. So now you want to come to the left hand side again, but now you want to place 2 blocks up over here, just on top of both of them. Then place another block up, dust. Then you want to place a slab over here, more dust, 3 blocks, and then you want to do the same thing to the other side. So you got 2 blocks, another block, then a slab over here, and dust along all of these 4 blocks like so. Then on the left, you want to place a redstone repeater set to 1 tick, but on the right, you want to set a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks. So it looks like this from the top. Place in a block here, another block in front of that, and you want to place in like an upside down T of redstone dust looking like this. So it looks like this from the top so far. And then whilst we're up here, you want to place in observers coming away from these sticky pistons. So one coming away from that, one coming away from that, with blocks, both in front of both of these observers. They have to be solid blocks, by the way. You then to come back around to the left, you want to place in a block next to this half slab, or in front of it, depending on your perspective. Just, you want to place a block up with a redstone torch on the side of it. Then place a block to the right of the redstone torch, a sticky piston under it, the piece of dust on this redstone sticky piston like so, with another solid block which it's touching. Then do the same thing but on the other side. So block over here, dust, block up, torch, block, sticky piston, dust, block touching it. You then want to come round to where we have this redstone dust over here. We're going to place a 4 delay repeater coming away from it. Same thing on the other side. Block here, 4 delay repeater coming away from it. And then finally, yes, we are on the final step now. You're going to place in blocks here. 4 blocks like so. Same thing on the other side. So block here, 4 blocks like so. Dust coming along all of these blocks like this. Now you will be able to see these blocks, by the way, because they are in your ceiling. So try and make them look nice. Obviously don't use lime green wool if you want it to look good. But now we can test the entire thing out. So when we flick this lever, it all should look like this. When we unflick it, it all should go away like that. Great. So now get some nice looking decoration blocks out, and you want to cover all of these like sticky pistons, sand and slime blocks with your nice lucky block. Lucky block, looking block. Also, you can replace this block now, because it still has to be a solid block. The same thing over here. Same thing on the roof. Same thing on the walls. Now we've got all of them blocks in place. We can flip the lever. Our cave door appears out of nowhere. It's crazy to think that 10 minutes ago you'd never expected this to happen. But here we are. Then when we unflick it, it all should retract away. Perfect. Now all you have to do is to decorate it, fill in the blocks, fill in the hallway, and make it look a tiny bit nicer. And also just a little trick I like to do, even though the redstone doesn't, like, it sticks out all the way this much, you can actually just have your wall here, because it covers all of it, and there's no redstone sticking out that much on the top. So you can do something like this, and just hides away the redstone even more. And makes it a little less bulky, because it is quite a bulky door. So with decoration, this is what it looks like. You can flip the lever, it all closes, you can unflick it, and it all opens. Honestly, I love this door so much, and I hope you have as much fun with it as I have making it. But anyways, that is the tutorial done. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer them. But that's all from me, and I'll see you all later. Have fun with your new 5x5 cave door. Bye!